Hey there, my star friends. It's Francesca from Consciousful Tarot. Thank you so much for tuning into my YouTube channel and clicking on this video. I'm a clairsentient tarot reader, level 2 Reiki master, and a spiritual advisor. Today I'm going to be doing another celebrity reading. I'm going to be doing a reading on Kim Kardashian, Kanye West, and Pete Davidson. So let's go ahead and first start off with Kim Kardashian and Kanye West. I'm going to go ahead and elaborate the purpose of this connection, what's the soul connection, and why did they get together, what really happened in their relationship, and how they felt about each other. Okay, so I first want to start off with the fact that this connection was actually a forced connection. There's actually no soul purpose or meaning behind it. There is just a personal lesson that is behind this connection. This connection was very forced. It was also a connection that Kanye felt as though it was like very dishonest. There was a lot of roguery happening in this connection. It does seem as though he had a lot of hesitancy to actually accept this connection. But he did chase it out of the thrill of getting some sort of achievement. It was meant to enable his ego, meant to enable his fame. It was meant to also enable a false sense of happiness. Overall, there was more that was taken from this connection that was given. The connection was based off superficial adornance. It was also based off recognition. And when it comes to Kim, I do see that her intention was always to achieve a grand amount of abundance. So, you know, I'm not saying she's a gold digger, but hey, I do see that during the relationship with Kanye West, she was very pessimistic. She was like a problem child, kind of in the connection, super naive. She wore a face mask to the whole world, as though she was very like go-getting, but in fact she was actually like very lazy. She had a lot of fear of failure because she has like a perfectionistic mindset, and that kind of like got Kanye West mad, because Kanye West is a go-getter, and he is the kind of individual that surpasses challenges with like a faithful mindset. They also were not aligned when it came to their beliefs, their philosophies, or their dogmas. This constantly had them like not on the same wavelength. Their connection was also in a way used as a rebound for both of them to release their ex-partners. I do see that Kim was also extremely impatient, extremely naive. She was also always like very forceful when it came to pampering. Like she constantly expected it. And as Kanye West, he has people-pleasing tendencies. He would pamper her. He would be flamboyant. He would be extravagant. And that resulted in Kim kind of like using him and constantly enabling his tendencies to overgive to her. And I'm seeing that she never really drew a line on it because she was lazy. You know, she entertained his tendency to please her. The connection was also based off entertaining their fame and also for publicity. They felt as though it was gonna both reward them, but it was a false security. It was also a false love. Kanye never really trusted her, as he kind of sees her as a witch. I'm not gonna lie. He kind of sees her as a witch, someone that is in the occult, someone that is not to be trusted. Kanye West, you know, he felt like the love was always sketchy. He was hesitant, even though he was the one that ultimately chased the love. His soul and his intuition always told him that there was malice, that there was dishonesty, that there was corruption. I am seeing that his soul cautioned him a lot, but like I said, he wanted to have a security blanket for artificial fulfillment and love. And you know, he did also use her in return. You know, he used her image, he used her body. The paradigm between them was very imbalanced. He was often the one that was getting used, and she kind of like had the one that was narcissistic. I'm not trying to depict Kim as someone that was a bad person, but I do see that she was the one that often would charm Kanye, use him, and when Kanye would set a boundary, she wouldn't really like accept it. Like there was a lot of pushiness. She would have a tantrum if he were to put a boundary, or she would have like a bad mouth. And this kind of like had him reflecting on her intentions. Ultimately, the way that Kim felt about Kanye was that he was like ill, like he was very problematic. He was very extravagant to the point where it was a turn off. She was very turned off by his tendency to always go against her. So it's like she would say left, he would say right. She would say up, he would say down. Like there was never an agreement when it came to what they wanted. There was always interference, lack of coexistence, lack of harmony that resulted in her feeling as though there's something wrong with him. He was also very over the top when it came to his reactions, making her feel as though she was a little bit scared of him, or even maybe depicting him as evil. So they both had negative thoughts about each other. There was never any chemistry either. What they did have was the mutual benefit of publicity, of a connection that was going to, you know, kind of benefit their fame and benefit their image. The connection was based off like egocentric fulfillments rather than a soul or heart fulfillments. It was meant for social status and social conformity. But I'm not gonna lie, like there is some sort of corruption here. There is a false forced connection here. So I do see that it could potentially be that there was people in power that kind of put this together. You know, no conspiracies, but I'm just throwing that out there because it doesn't seem or feel right, and there's literally no sole purpose behind this as confirmed. Overall, the reason why Kanye was so devastated is because of the fakery, the fake reciprocity. He's devastated even till this day, and he wants to retaliate because his mental health was never really stabilized due to him getting constantly bombarded with potential mind control. But she confessed to him before she left that she used the love for publicity, that everything that she once reciprocated was not really sincere. And this really kind of devastated him because he felt as though he lived a lie. He felt as though that part of his life was fake, like it was an illusion. And that's what really has him feeling torment. It really has him also feeling as though he got completely used. But he's been in a state of, he's not in denial anymore, but he's been in a state of complete torment and powerlessness, that he wants to do everything in his power to see her fall, to see her not fall in love again, to see her, to have her finances duped. But yeah, I am seeing that from the get-go, he knew that the connection was going to be over. And he's at a point where, there's no second chances. And that's why he's reacting very reactive, very intense, and very brutal. It's because he knows that there's no second chances. And the things that she confessed to him in private were so cruel to the point where he wants to reciprocate that same pain to her. But overall, this connection was sprinkled with, fake love, false security love. It was filtered with flirting and sex and pleasures and life pleasures and money and abundance, but it was never real. It was never authentic. And Kim was very strategic. She was very cunning. Kanye was also very strategic. He was very possessive. He became very persistent in this connection because it was giving him a sense of false valuableness. And ultimately, their opinions about each other are pretty cruel. I don't want to share more of that, but overall the connection between them was never real. And I do want to confirm that it does seem as though Kim was constantly in contact with other men, specifically Pete Davidson, while she was in a marriage with Kanye West. So let's go ahead and go to Kim and Pete. See you there. Okay guys, so now we're gonna go ahead and move on to Kim Kardashian's and Pete Davidson connection. What is the soul purpose? What's the meaning behind the connection? And also how they think and feel about each other. Okay, so this connection actually does have a soul purpose. They are actually soulmates with past life baggage, and they come here to go through the several tribulations that they have in order to regain trust for each other. I do see that in their past life there was like a similar story that they have in this life, where they were both disconnected from each other because they were both wearing a false mask to one another. There was a lot of deception in this connection that led for both of them to get their heart broken, only yet to realize that they still love each other and the love still thrives through ruin, deception, and chaos. So in their past life, they never got to the point where they got back together. In this life, they're actually meant to actually reharvest and harbor a connection that they're able to rebuild after the deception, after the betrayal. And I do see that it is actually happening in this lifetime, where they're now releasing any sort of repressed emotions, any sort of repressed agony, any sort of hidden sadness or hidden regrets when it comes to the connection. I do see that they needed to work a lot on like learning the value of this relationship before changing and adapting to healing it. And that's exactly what they've done, is that they've realized the value of this relationship through going through false relationships, going through different projects that weren't really emotionally fulfilling, and weren't the real tangible love that they know that they had with each other. They both had a sense of like control when it came to hindering this connection. But I do think they never really let go of each other, because there was always like a bond between them that really ignited each other's happiness, fulfillment, and overall wellness. I do see that part of the obstacles in this connection was also them needing to release the structure that they created with other people in order to come back together. And that's kind of what has happened in the relationship with Kim and Kanye, that she had to release it in order to kind of like take that leap of faith back to her person, back to her heart. And I am seeing this connection was filled with a lot of vanity. It was filled with a lot of competition. It was also filled with a lot of impatience that led Pete to sometimes escape from the connection, sometimes abandon the connection. I do see that he had a lot of fear of vulnerability to really fully commit to Kim, as he fully didn't really trust her. He felt at one point he was going to get abandoned, or he didn't really trust himself. So that's why he wasn't able to fully trust her, because those that don't trust themselves will project that mistrust in other people. So I am seeing that he always kind of had one foot in, one foot out, which kind of left Kim feeling also a little bit fear of rejecting, fear of abandonment, that left her constantly wanting to please Pete, But Pete was also someone that wasn't yet fully grown. He was someone that was very folly, someone that was very selfish. He was also very impulsive. He led off with like his intoxicated mindset, always just wanting to go with the thrill because it was going to fulfill him for the moment, not thinking about the long-term consequences. But it does seem as though through this love, Pete has actually adapted to changing his old ways, adapted to healing, and adapted to becoming much more mature. He's still himself. I do see that he still is flamboyant. He still has toxic habits, but he's more cautious. He's less impulsive and less frivolous. He's more mindful and prudent. And the core essence of this connection was for them to disconnect, to get back together, and then this time into their soul purpose, come into their true self. It's also helping them step into a role of individuality rather than codependency, because before they could have had a dynamic of codependency, especially because they were both running and chasing each other, which often made the connection a little more painful. But yeah, and I am seeing that now they're going to be moving with purpose. They're going to be moving with self-assurance and a lot of enthusiasm when it comes to creating a new beginning. And they're both very passionate about each other, which is helping them develop a very strong connection. And yeah, now they're developing a lot of trust by communicating very clearly with each other, having a dialogue that's very transparent, concrete, and really explicit, where they're not relying on their old ways of deception, of self-sabotage that they once relied on in their past and in their past life. So they're overcoming their old tendencies as well, as they solely proceed with love rather than their mind. The way that Kim thinks and feels about Pete is that she actually wants to marry him, and she's being a little bit like, I feel like she's like kind of like demanding this, or she's very like impatient when it comes to it happening. Like she wants the change to happen very soon. So I do see that like she already knows like Pete is the one that has her heart. She's the one that he's the one that she wants to be with. There's no one else that really has the key to her heart. So I do see that she wants there to be a completion. She wants there to be an engagement, and she can be a little bit like passive when it comes to actually wanting this from Pete. But the thing is that Pete does want this as well, and he wants to marry her. He feels as though this is an eternal love, and he's promising her marriage. But right now he's at a point where he's just enjoying the love. He's enjoying the passion. He's enjoying spending time together, because he knows that there's a lot that Kim still needs to move on from. There's a lot of closure that she needs from like, her past relationship with Kanye, and just like her past life, that Pete is like telling Kim like that they need to take it slow, that they need to evaluate certain things, that they need to wait it out prior to actually proceeding with the marriage or proposal, engagement. So he's being very honest with her and very blunt. Like he's just wanting to date. He's just wanting to have fun, but that he's in love with her and that he's promising her marriage. So I am seeing, maybe by fall time, we may be hearing that they are proposed, that they're engaged, but it's gonna maybe take around, a few months, because Kim may need, an official agreement that her and Kanye are no longer intermingled in the court system, or no longer dealing with any sort of lawsuits or anything like that. But it may take some time. But overall, Pete is promising Kim marriage, and Kim is being kind of forceful and demanding of wanting this, because she wants to co-create a future with him. And she also wants to co-create potentially a business with Pete. And this is gonna help her kind of like, live her passion and her purpose with the man that she actually loves. And unfortunately it wasn't Kanye, but yeah. So okay guys, so I hope you guys enjoyed the celebrity reading. If you want another celebrity reading, go ahead and leave it in the comments below. Next, I will be doing Camila Cabello and Shawn Mendes as requested. And then a few weeks after that, I will be doing a part 2 of Justin Bieber, Selena Gomez, and Hailey Bieber. I hope you guys enjoy the reading. If you guys want a personal reading, you could go to consciousfultarot.com and we can get it started from there. Take it easy. Bye, my friends.